What's up, Joe? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the F1 video. It's lovely. Lovely Friday. Now listen, we are in Imola. We just had our first practice today. I think Lando was on top. Carlos Sainz was P3 again. I will say about Carlos Sainz. Williams is having a really, really good season. To their standards, a very good season. Probably the best season they've had in a minute. Hopefully they keep it up. What Carlos Sainz has brought to that team, kind of raise the intensity levels, you could say, but hopefully they can keep it up. Hopefully finish as one of the top teams of like the middle of like the pack teams, whatever, with the Alpines, Aston Martins in them. So hopefully Williams can keep it up. We'll see. But anyway, today shout out to Stop and Go F1 All Craig Wilson. We are going to check out the top 10 F1 World Championship defenses ever. Now, we are going to check out, we are going to see what's on. As always, boys and girls, hope you guys are doing good and amazing. Don't forget to like the video, sub as well. Intro short, intro sweet. I'm excited for the race this weekend. We should be a lot of fat race as well. Should be a very, very fun live stream. I know the last race we did, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. This is our last F1 live stream. Either way, let's get it. See you guys this weekend. Should be. So 75-80% chance we go live this weekend for the race. So it should be a fun one. Outside that, boys and girls, don't forget to like the video, sub as well. On the way to 6K. Small, but always grateful. Don't forget to sub. Let's get it.
Every Formula One driver's biggest dream is to become the Formula One World Champion. But once you've won it, what do you do next? Well, you could just retire, but for most it is their aim to successfully defend that World Championship. But in this video, we are counting down the top 10 times it didn't go exactly to plan. We will not be counting any drivers who passed away before they could try and retain their title, such as Jochen Rindt, or any driver who decided to retire after they won the world title, such as Mike Hawthorne in 1958, Jackie Stewart in 1973, Alain Prost in 1993, or Nico Rosberg in 2016. Also, we won't be counting any drivers who are...
Did y'all see the vertical on Nico Rosberg just now? Okay, white man can jump.
Forced to retire after Frank Williams cruelly decided to give their seats to Alain Prost, despite them having the most dominant championship season in the history of Formula One at that time. Also having years of dedication to the Williams team up until that point, such as might have happened to Nigel Mansell in 1992. Hashtag Justice for Nigel. Anyway, it's time to do a countdown. Number 10, Graham Hill, 1969. Graham Hill won the 1968 World Championship for Lotus with 3 wins, but the next year the Lotus was no longer the class of the field. Although Mr. Monaco was still able to take the top step in the Principality and a podium in South Africa, he would only be able to score points 2 more times all year. Overall, he would finish 7th in the championship with just 19 points and would also be beaten by his new teammate Jochen Rindt, who finished the season in 4th. Number 9, Nelson Piquet, 1988. Piquet won his 3rd and final World Championship in 1987 with the Williams team, taking podiums in 11 of the 16 races with 3 wins, including 9 podiums in a row, which was a record at that time.
Golly.
Piquet had been promised undisputed number 1 driver status in the Williams team, but did not believe he had received that, as his teammate Nigel Mansell had been allowed to race him and often beat him, because Nigel is the best and only lost the title because of a mistake in qualifying in Australia. Hashtag Justice for Nigel. Due to feeling lied to, Piquet elected to leave Williams and join Lotus for 1988. The Lotus may have had the same Honda engine that the Williams used the years prior, and the same one that the McLaren team were using to dominate the championship that year, but Lotus were not able to get the most out of it due to aerodynamic issues. Piquet would take his first winless season since his first full season in 1979, and had a best finish of 3rd place 3 times. Also this year, Piquet decided if he couldn't grab the headlines due to his driving ability, he would get them in other ways. He said that Nigel Mansell's wife was an uneducated blockhead and then insulted her looks. He compared Senna to a taxi driver and insinuated that he was gay. He would also insult Alain Prost's driving and said the reason Ferrari weren't doing so well is because Enzo Ferrari was 90 years old and wasn't attending races due to his failing health.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Nelson, let's relax. You going after a man's wife? You going after Senna? You going after Alain Prost? Now listen, Williams did you wrong. I admit that. You know, you just won a championship. You were supposed to be the main dog. Obviously, Nigel was coming up. They was rocking towards Nigel. Now also, I know Nigel did win a championship later on, but still though, man. Now, the disrespect is kind of crazy towards you. I admit that. But my gosh, bro. You're getting real personal with this. Then you're taking Ferrari. My gosh, bro. You gotta eat a Snickers, bro. My boy, relax. Relax.
At the end of the year, Nelson Piquet finished 6th in the championship with 22 points.
Yeah, good, really.
Number 8, Jim Clark, 1966. In 1965, Jim Clark won both the F1 World Championship and the Indy 500. The only driver ever to win both of them in the same year. His 1966 would not be as good. Brand new engine regulations meant that the Lotus was much less competitive. It was nearly the halfway point of the season when Clark scored his first points with a 4th place at the British GP. He would get his first podium in the next race in the Netherlands, and from the Italian GP, Lotus elected to change their engine from the Climax engine to the BRM. He would then win the USA GP, but at this point, it was far too late to mount a championship challenge. Clark would finish 6th in the championship with just 16 points. Number 7, Jacques Villeneuve, 1998. Jacques Villeneuve, the second best Villeneuve, was the next big thing in 1997. He won the World Championship in just his 2nd season, the first person to do so since Fangio. Villeneuve won 7 races in 1997 and became the first ever world champion from Canada. For 1998, Frank Williams decided it might not be a good idea to fire his reigning world champion and kept Villeneuve on board.
Foreshadowing is a literary device
but it wouldn't be too simple for the Williams team, as F1 wanted to introduce grooved tyres and narrower cars for 1998, and reigning champion Villeneuve was not happy and said that if that went ahead, he would quit Formula One.
Dang.
The changes went ahead and Villeneuve didn't quit. The liar. Meanwhile, Renault left Williams as their engine supplier, who'd been working together since 1989, and instead they went with Mechachrome. And if you're sat there thinking, I've never heard of Mechachrome, the reason for that is that they weren't very good. He would get back.
Chat, let me know in the comments down below if you heard of Mechachrome. Let me know in the comments down below, chat.
To back 3rd places in the German and Hungarian GPs, but that would be the only podiums of his season, finishing the year overall 5th in the standings on just 21 points.
Jeez.
Number 6.
So it seemed like he kind of got screwed over because F1 decided to change the rules. I mean, tires changed some the tires or car aspect. That's unfortunate. I mean, it just came off a winning season, and F1 decided to change some things. Obviously not because of you specifically, but just in general, they felt like it was the best thing to do. That's unfortunate. Just bad luck. Simple as that. Unfortunate bad luck.
Mario Andretti, 1979. Andretti won the 1978 World Championship after getting 6 wins. In 1979, he would not win any races, but would get 1 podium. And after that podium, he went on a streak of 7 DNFs in a row. Andretti overall finished the season in 12th, with 14 points, being beaten by his new teammate Carlos Reutemann, who overall nearly doubled the points tally of the American World Champion. Number 5, Niki Lauda, 1985. In 1984, Lauda was either on the podium or didn't finish the race on his way to his championship. He got 9 podiums, including 5 wins, alongside 6 DNFs and 1 4th place. Lauda was supposed to leave McLaren and join Renault for 1985, but changed his mind and stayed with the McLaren team. In 1985, Lauda had 11 DNFs. He also broke his wrist in a practice session before the Belgian GP and missed 2 races. He would win the Dutch GP that year, and this would be his final ever Formula 1 race win, as he would retire from the sport for the second and final time at the end of the year, after finishing 10th in the championship with just 14 points, whilst teammate Alain Prost won his first world title with 62 more points than Lauda. Number 4, Jack Brabham. 1961. Brabham had won back-to-back world titles in 1959 and 1960, but 1961 would...
Also, chat, it's still amazing to this day how F1 drivers drove in cars like this. There's no halo, no protective stuff. Like, that's crazy. We came a long way. We came a long way, chat. We came a long way in car revolutions, man. Thank you, God. Thank God.
Would not be his year. Engine manufacturer Climax was slow in making their new 1.5 litre engine for the 1961 season, and their power was a lot less than the Porsche, Lotus and Ferraris. Brabham would only score points in 2 races across the entire season, finishing 11th in the championship with just 4 points, and was also beaten by teammate Bruce McLaren. Number 3. Damon Hill, 1997. Damon Hill would finally get revenge on Michael Schumacher for the 1994 season when he won the 1996 World Championship, winning half the races in the season along the way and becoming Williams' second most successful driver of all time. And due to this, he would be rewarded by Frank Williams by getting fired. Despite being approached by the likes of Benetton, McLaren and Ferrari, Damon decided to go to the team known as Arrows.
Wait. I got fired for winning? For y'all? There has to be some bigger stuff behind it. I think we checked it out. I think we did, but if not, you guys let me know in the comments down below. But how's?
Who had scored just 1 point during the 1996 season and used engines made by Yamaha, the world's largest manufacturer of musical instruments, and also motorbikes and Formula 1 engines, apparently. Their Formula 1 engines weren't as good as their pianos. His highlight of the year was nearly winning the Hungarian GP until a last-minute hydraulic issue which saw him fall to a still impressive second place. Although this was only one of 2 times he scored points all year, finishing the year with just 7 points and 12th in the championship. Although technically, he still did beat Michael Schumacher that year, who got disqualified from the season. So, you know, it's the little victories. Number 2, Michael. Jody Scheckter, 1980. Scheckter won the 1979 World Championship with 3 wins over his teammate Gilles Villeneuve, the best Villeneuve. This ended a pretty dominant decade for the Ferraris, who had won 4 World Championships in the 70s and finished in the top 3 in 8 of the last 10 years. Then, in 1980, Ferrari got caught out, as all the other teams had a much better understanding of the new ground effect based cars. Scheckter scored points once all year at the USA West GP and went on a streak of 8 races without scoring any points. And as if it couldn't get any worse, he would then go on to fail to qualify for the Canadian GP, the same race where Villeneuve would score points. After this season, Scheckter would retire from Formula 1, finishing 19th in the championship with just 2 points, and be beaten by Villeneuve, who scored 3 times his points. And number 1, Alberto Ascari, 1954. Ascari was the first ever back-to-back world champion in 1952 and 1953 with Ferrari, which included his legendary 7-win streak, which was a record that was held for 60 years. Going into 1954, Ascari had had arguments with Ferrari over his pay, so decided to leave and join brand new team Lancia. There was only one issue with Ascari joining Lancia, and that was that they didn't have a car. Ascari would miss the first 2 races of the year with the car still not ready. He was able to strike a deal with Maserati, who had won the first 2 races of the year with Juan Manuel Fangio. Ascari would qualify for the French GP, but retire with an engine failure. And then at the British GP, he would qualify 30th and would retire again due to an oil pressure issue. But he would get the fastest lap before he retired, which would earn him 1 point. Although at that time, the fastest lap was just measured to the second. So with a lap time of 1 minute and 50 seconds, he and 6 others had the fastest lap, which meant the 1 point was split 7 ways, meaning everyone got 0.14 points. Ascari would then miss the next 2 races before coming back again in the penultimate race of the year in Italy with the Lancia. Oh wait, no, sorry, the car still wasn't ready. He actually returned back to Ferrari for the Italian GP and qualified on the front row, but with...
My man has on a regular, just polo shirt. No protection. But I mean, that's how they raced back then, man. That's how they raced back then. Hey, I mean, that's how they felt it was safe back then. I'm gonna talk about Ascari after he's done, but man,
retire with a valve issue. Then, for the final race of the year, the Lancia was finally ready, and after a year of anticipation, Ascari qualified on pole for the Spanish GP and took off with the lead, setting the fastest lap before retiring with a clutch issue. But at least this time he didn't actually have to share the fastest lap point with anyone, he got that all to himself. So Ascari went from a legendary run with back-to-back world titles to finishing 25th out of 26 classified drivers in the championship, never actually finishing a race all year and having 1.1.
Poor Ascari, bro. That's unfortunate. I mean, you talk about leaving Ferrari because first of all, the pay was wrong. So I ain't mad about that. You know what you're worth, get your money. But then you go to I forget the team name. That's how just irrelevant it was. Like Lascari, Latari, whatever. And it's the car's not even ready. And you go back to Ferrari, then you get the fastest lap, and it's tired everybody else. You gotta split it 7 ways. Poor Ascari. That's probably the worst one. That's probably the worst one. You guys let me know what was the worst title defense in the video. As always, don't forget to like the video and sub as well. Take care. See you guys this weekend. Peace.